Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording? Great. Thank you, thank you. Well, welcome. I am Chris McCluskey, and Lee, you want to say hey?
Hey, I am Lee Bazant.
All right. We are the co-founders of My Coach Portal. If you want information on that, you'll find us out on the web at mycoachportal.net. But this is the first of a series of webinars that we intend to do for coaches on technology tips. So we're not really plugging My Coach Portal, at least not heavily. We're going to give you a coupon code at the end. If you're interested in it, great. You can jump out and you'll save some money. But what we're doing here is we're addressing things that we know coaches need or at least could benefit from in terms of technology. But like yours truly, we struggle with technology a lot of times. So we're going to do a series of webinars that we're just calling Power-Up webinars. And they're for coaches, by coaches, to help us be able to keep accommodating the 21st century and the rapid change of rapid pace of change. So what we're looking at today, you know that we're specifically examining online schedulers. These have become a thing in the last, maybe 2 years or so. We increasingly see people using them. Some of you may already be using them or at least experimenting. But we're going to go on the assumption we probably need to do some muting here. We've got some really bad background noise. Rachel, can you do the muting for us? Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
Chris, this is Leighton. Why is it that when I put my little arrow on my picture, it says mute, but I go on to anybody else's, there's no mute. I can't mute anybody.
That's right, because you're not one of the administrators of the site.
Well, I just thought it'd be nice to be able to mute somebody. I never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
In real life.
Oh, to have such ability. So let me just say this by way of preface, and I'll hand it right over to Lee. Lee's going to do all the heavy lifting here today. I've trained a lot of coaches. I've trained thousands of coaches over the last more than 20 years now and helped many thousands of them launch successful practices, somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 or so worldwide. Technology is one of the biggest things they struggle with. I always call the main struggles for coaches the triple whammy, because for most of us anyway, we hit at least one of these and sometimes two or three. 3 strikes, we're out oftentimes. When coaches are transitioning into the field, they're usually people helpers. They love working with people. They love the thought of being able to work with people. And so coaching is very attractive on that front. When they understand that they have to become entrepreneurs, that's the first whammy. It's like, oh, I don't know anything about business, entrepreneurism. Never thought of myself as that. So we have a learning curve with just basic. Again, we're going to have some muting here. Rachel, is there a way to mute everybody except just Lee and myself?
Yeah.
I think that was Donald Miller shuffling around there. Donald, can you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not seeming to be able to communicate with Rachel. I can't tell that she's muting everybody else except Lee and I.
She heard you.
Did she? Okay. All right. Yeah, second thing they struggle with is marketing. Okay, so if I can kind of sort of set up a business, I'm scared to death to market myself. I really don't feel comfortable in that. I see somebody nodding their head there, Claudia. And if those two whammies have already got you nervous, business-mindedness and marketing, when it comes to technology, you realize, oh, this is work from home. That means I need to use my computer for something more maybe than just playing with Facebook and sending emails. That can be for many people the triple whammy there. So actually, happily, coaching is a relatively simple business. Our marketing is most effective when it's relationship marketing anyway, and we're all in lots of relationships, so we just need to tweak our mindsets about marketing. But technology, that just does require somebody else who knows more than we do helping us to understand it. So thank the Lord for YouTube videos and tutorials and workshops like this. That's what we're going to do today. Lee, take us to an overview of, I guess we're going to look at Calendly, Bookify, and Book Like a Boss. And there are many others out there, but you've selected these 3. So start us there.
Yes. Okay. So the reason why we wanted to do this, and if you've been a coach for any amount of time, if you've ever tried to make an appointment, you know that there can be friction involved. And there's that phone call back and forth, or if you're doing it by email, even worse. It's, how about these dates? And then you look at your calendar, and if they don't work, you come back and say, that's not going to work. How about these dates? And you have this sort of back and forth. And so I've been using online scheduling since I started my practice, and it has been a real time saver. And so what we're going to do is, because this topic just seems to be on a lot of people's minds, and I know a lot of our subscribers for My Coach Portal will come back to me and say, can you recommend a good scheduling software, and how do I connect this thing to my portal and all that stuff? And so like Chris said, we're not really trying to sell you something. We just want to bless you with some information, I guess. Mm-hmm. And we're going to just take a look at, online scheduling services. And so if you're not using one, I have to tell you that first of all, it's great because they're always on, right? So you can take appointments in your pajamas, right? They're always on. You can take appointments in your sleep. Oh, I think somebody has me up in their speaker really loud.
Really loud, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was like when I was a little kid and I called into the radio station to make a request the first time. But it's really great because you can schedule calls while you're sleeping. They're always on. It's sort of like having a secretary in that aspect, or an administrative assistant. And then some of the coaching scheduling solutions allow you to take payments as well, which is really nice. So if somebody goes on and they schedule an appointment, they could just pay for their appointment when they make the schedule. And then my personal favorite, besides saving time, my personal favorite is the text reminders. And so I didn't want all of the apps that I wanted to look at today have the ability to send out text reminders. And so if you're anything like me and you hate a no-show almost as much as you hate the devil, you want to be able to send out text reminders, because emails end up in spam. Emails, they all send email reminders, but there's no guarantee that the email is going to be read. So they really help to eliminate no-shows, and I love the text reminders. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at 3 options that give that service, text reminding. I wanted to look at things that were relatively inexpensive or offer a free trial or a free version. A couple of these offer a free version. We don't pay anything. No, their features aren't as robust when they're free. Of course, they make you pay for those. But I wanted to look at that. So we can go ahead and dive in. But Chris, did you want to say anything before we dive in?
No. This is exactly what we want to do. Go ahead and put us on screen share.
All right.
Look at these babies.
Let's see here. I am going to share my desktop. Okay, so everybody should see my screen. Can you all see that? Everybody good there? Chris, you see that?
I do. And if any of you need to adjust the way your Zoom thing, put the faces down the sidebar now, up at the very top, you can click one of those little icons and it'll reduce. It'll make it wee tiny. Or you can click and drag it on that top bar and move it out of the way if you can't see some of his screen.
Yeah. So, and by the way, just in case you're wondering, I know we have a few My Coach Portal subscribers in here. We do have our own native booking application coming, but we don't know when. It could be the next couple of months or 2, but I just wanted to let you know that that is in the works. We're having our own native one. But let's look at these. These guys have been on it for a little while longer, and so their applications are a little more mature and developed, and they have some really good stuff. And so I want to start by taking a look at Calendly. And some of you may have used it or looked at it. If you've ever booked an appointment online, there's a real good chance that you used Calendly. It's very popular. And so let's just take a look real quick at their pricing options. You can see that they do have a free option, which is nice. If you're just kind of wanting to dip your toes in the water and take a look at it, I do have a free Calendly account, and but I don't use it. I'm going to tell you which one I use in a little bit. But you can see when you look along their features list, they have a free one, they have a $10 a month one, they have a $15 a month one, and that they will integrate with your Google Calendar. If you're using Google Calendar, if you're using Office, using iCloud. I know a lot of people, including myself, use iCal, and I prefer that, and it will sync up with that. So that's really nice. They'll allow you in their free version to schedule unlimited events, but they'll only allow you to schedule one event type. So let me give you an example of what that means. So one event type might be your discovery call or your consultation call, and another event type might be your actual coaching call. And so if you use their free option, you're limited to just one event type. And then everybody has their own Calendly link. And that's really important to understand that when you sign up for a booking service, essentially what they do is they create a page for you. And this is true on all of these. So they'll create a page for you, and then you will link out to that page where your clients will click that link and then book a call with you. Okay. And then there are other free ones. You have some event notifications and things like that. You do have to pay for their pro plan to get text notifications. But I do like, one of the things that I really like about them is their clean appearance. And so I'll send links to you guys to all of these services so that you can look over them yourself. But let's take a look really quick at their back end.
I wanted to see the comparison.
So if you see this, if you look in their back end, you see I have an option here, one-on-one coaching session. And because this is a free account with Calendly, it won't allow me to create other types of appointments without upgrading. And theirs is very simple. Like if you look at it, there's not a whole, it seems like there's not a whole lot going on. When you go out to a booking page, so let's say that you send a client a link. This is what it would look like.
Comparing different scheduling things for coaching.
And so you see the one-on-one coaching session.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought this was a bug in my hair. I'm like, really?
You click on it. A bug in my hair. So go ahead, and this is what it would look like, is your client would click on that link, and then they would see this really nice looking calendar page. Now, because this is a free account, it's branded right here. And you'll notice that that's one of the differences between when you use free things or low cost things versus when you pay monthly for it, is that companies, when they're giving their product away, this is kind of how they get back. This is how they kind of get paid, so to speak, is they brand it so that when your clients go to your page to book their appointment, they'll maybe click that link and create their own account. And so I personally, I don't like to have branding on my booking pages. I like to keep, I like to promote my own brand and not, Calendly's brand or Bookify's brand or Book Like a Boss's brand. So that's one of the disadvantages to free accounts, is you will have that company's branding on there. And so when your client goes to your Calendly page, they would choose a date that they want to book with you. They'll click on it. And then over here, they'll see your availability for those days. And so you'll set that availability in your control panel, in your dashboard. And so they might come over here and they say, okay, Lee has 10 a.m. open and I'm going to book an appointment with him. They'll just click that. They'll confirm it. They'll put in their name, their email address, and then they'll schedule that event. Now, if you have a paid plan, which the only paid plan that Calendly has is $15 a month for texts. And so if you're wanting texts, which I would highly recommend, there are cheaper options. We'll get into that. But $15 a month for texts to me is a little bit rich. So you would just plug in your email address, your name, and then they would schedule an event, and then they would get an email confirming that appointment. So now if that appointment is taken, then that time slot is going to be gone from here. So you don't have to worry about clients double booking and things like that, because let's say I went ahead through, or your client went ahead through and scheduled for 10 a.m. Well, then that availability would be gone and you wouldn't have to worry about double booking somebody else coming along. So that's one nice thing about the online calendaring, is It does handle that double booking. You don't have to worry about that. Sleep sound, because when you set your availability and it's set up correctly, you're not going to have to worry about that. So I think some people think, oh, it's sort of like 24/7, but it's not. It will remove your availability. You can set your availability. You can set your days off. You can say, hey, an hour in the middle of the day for lunch, I'm not available, whatever. So that would be how Calendly works. And I think personally, I think it's really elegant. It looks great on phones. It has a really simple, easy appearance. I don't think that most of your clients, or hopefully any of your clients, would ever go through this and get confused. So simple, elegant, works. Great appearance. They do have a free option. My big con on Calendly, though, is that their only plan that does texts is their pro plan, and it's $15 a month. All right. So I'm going to move on. I know we promised to go kind of quickly, and so I'm going to go on to the next one. This is Bookify, and Bookify, I'll just tell you right now, that's the one that I use. I'm not an affiliate, so I'm not an affiliate with Bookify. I'm not here to promote it, but it's the one that I use, and it's the one that I really like. And so if you look at their plans here, they have a free plan, and it's a pretty robust free plan because they offer unlimited appointment types, whereas Calendly only offers one appointment type on their free plan. And so if you want on their free plan to have a discovery call, to have a coaching call, all appointment types you can have on there. They do have a customizable booking page, which means that their booking page, rather than just being kind of simple, like this one, is a little more robust, and I'll show it to you. And of course, there's support, and then you can create custom start times and padding between appointments. They also have a WordPress plugin. All of these would be pretty friendly with WordPress because you're just linking out to an external page anyway. You can create custom fields. You can customize your colors and fonts and things like that. It's a really robust one for what you're paying. Their pro plan is $7, and you can text. You can send text reminders for $7 a month, which is actually really inexpensive. That's a really good deal. So $7 a month, and you can send out text reminders. You get all the features over here, but you also get Google Calendar two-way sync and iCal two-way sync, which is really good. And here's what I mean by two-way sync. In some calendar apps, when somebody creates an appointment, that appointment will be added to your calendar. That's syncing one way. With a two-way sync, if you sit down on your iCal or your Outlook and you manually type in an appointment, it will sync the other way so that your calendaring system sees you as busy during that time. So if you kind of know what I mean, just give me a little nod if you know what that means. So they will sync with your Outlook. It also will accept payments at the pro level, the $7 a month. Show you busy. You can have multiple staffs, which is really nice. So if you have other people in your coaching practice, you can have multiple staff. And it also it's just really robust for what you're getting. So, and then their pro one offers a few more. It'll sync up with HubSpot if you use that as a CRM, Salesforce, Zoho, things like that. And then we'll also send out 2 text reminders, maybe one an hour before and one the day before. But let's look at the back end here at Bookify. And so you can see that they offer a few more things, like you can update, upload a logo for your booking page. You can change your booking options. There's just so much here. You can change it as a 12-hour calendar, a 12-hour time format, 24-hour time format, booking increments, all of that. There's so many options. And then for your booking page settings, I'll show you that in just a second here. It allows you to display certain things or not display certain things. You can upload a nice little header image so it looks a little inspirational when somebody goes to book. So this would be my booking page. Now you can see one thing. One of my cons for Bookify is I feel that this booking page is just a little clunky for me. It's not as elegant and clean as, say, the Calendly page. If somebody clicks on book an appointment, this is what they see. So they can choose, and if you have other things that you offer, you can put them there. And then you choose a date and time. It looks like I'm available at 4 o'clock today. So if anybody wants to call me, you go right ahead. But you put in your name, your email, your phone, little message that they'll get when the text goes out, or when they book their appointment, and then they confirm the appointment. So let's go back over here real quick. And again, there's so many options with Bookify, and I don't want to spend a ton of time here, but you will set your business hours, your times, okay? What time zone are you in, your weekend hours, things like that. It also has a really simple system for setting hours off. So if you take a lunch break and things, or if you just book appointments back to back, you can do that. You can create users for staff. You can add different appointment types. You can create group events with their pro plan. So if you're doing group coaching, I know some people now are doing Zoom groups. So they're doing group coaching, and they're just sort of bringing 4 or 5 people onto their Zoom, and they're doing it that way. And so they also have a couple of integrations with different CRMs, and then you can change your calendar view. And again, they have a free option. So if you wanted to create a free account and just do a deep dive into all the things that it does, you can do that. But again, here's what the booking page looks like. So we'll move on to the next one.
And let me interrupt you here, Lee, just
yeah.
long enough while you switch the screens there. First, to respond, we have a couple people putting things in chat, and we'll do Q&A right at the end. So you can go ahead and put your questions for chat there, because we are going to take as many as we possibly can. You can also simply raise your hand if you click the participants button down there at the bottom. Chat is to the right there at the bottom, and participants is to the left. If you click participants and click the little button that says raise hand, that'll let us know that you just want to ask a verbal question. We'll take those at the end. Also, I just want to give a word of reassurance to any of you who identified with my comment about the triple whammy. And when it comes to technology, your eyes glaze over and you go, oh, I'll never learn it. Rest assured, some of these terms that Lee is whipping out here fast and furious, CRMs and talking about HubSpot and WordPress and all, for him, that's like talking about the names of his children or something. For many of us, every single one, even if we've heard of it, we have to pause and think, now, wait a minute, what is that? What does that do? Do not concern yourself with that. And I know, Lee, you can nod your head here. These are not things that you have to understand in order to be able to choose wisely a calendaring system. The main thing that we're going to show you is that if you do understand those terms, that it's on those finer points that these 3 big boys in the field, Bookify, Calendly, and Book Like a Boss, that's really where they kind of sort out what one has as an advantage over the other. They're all 3 excellent. This is points of difference that we're looking at, and many of those points of difference come down to just whiz-bang on broader tech applications and connectivity.
Do you have a pen over there?
Still got somebody who's not muted. The main thing that we're wanting you to hear is the basic functionality of what will your clients and prospects see? How do they select the time that you're making available? How can you program it on the back end when we get into the back side, as Lee says, and see what you can put up, if you can have your logo and a masthead like Lee has here and all. So pay attention to those things. Any of the other terms, don't concern yourself with them for right now. It's still good, Lee, to share them. I just want to give reassurance to anybody else who's quaking in their boots now.
All right. So if you are quaking, you can go back and watch, and you can always send me a question, and you can send them a question. All 3 of these companies have great support and will answer your emails. So I would encourage you, if you're not quite sure, to take advantage of the free plans and just play with it. Dive in. Send one, if you have a client that you feel comfortable doing this with, send them a link and say, what do you think? Was that easy for you? And so, feel free to experiment. So there is the back end there. Again, they have integrations, and you can change all sorts of things. And it would take me an hour to go through the entire back end. But at any time, one of the things I like about Bookify, at any time, you can always just click that, and it'll take you right to your booking page. so that if you forget where it is, you can always just grab that URL, that address up there, and send it to your client. But my con, I think I mentioned before, is that the user interface, they call it the UI, the user interface, in my opinion, is a little bit clunky, a little bit dated. And as is the appointment page, it's not as clean as Calendly's, but it's incredibly robust. And if you pay for a year up front, you're only paying $5 a month for it, and you're getting text messages, which is the best deal of the bunch. So we'll move on. We're going to move on to Book Like a Boss, which they do not offer a free plan, but they do give you their best plan. Their plans are named after coffee drinks, so most of you could probably really appreciate that. They have their espresso plan, which is their lowest price one. That's $9 a month. Their mocha plan, their cappuccino, and their latte. And their latte is their biggest one. And I'll explain to you what the difference is between them. But
and Lee, let me stop you for just a sec, bud. If you can quit moving your mouse when you're talking, it scrolls the page up and down, and our eyes can't hold the words on there.
Okay. All right. So they have all of those. And then so when you sign up, you can get what they do for your 14 free days is they give you the latte plan. They give it all to you. And you can try all the features for 14 days, but they do not offer a free plan. All of them are paid. And so let's take a look really quick. I'll scroll down a little bit, and you can see that their options, they're two higher ones, right? Which would be their cappuccino and their latte, allow you to pay for services up front and basically kind of sell them like products. So when somebody goes to book an appointment with you, they would pay for it up front. They also offer coupon codes if you're running a special. They're the only one of the booking services that we're looking at today that offer coupon codes. And so I think that's kind of neat. If you're going to do a Christmas or a Black Friday coaching special or something, you can offer coupon codes if you're going to promote that maybe on Facebook or something. All of their paid plans offer text reminders, which is very nice. And then their more expensive plans allow you to remove the branding. Remember, we talked about that before. Kind of, do you want to have branding for another company on your booking page or not? And then custom domains, which in my opinion, that's not a big deal. I wouldn't pay extra for a custom domain for a booking page. They allow you to do group bookings, embed your calendars, integrations, again, like the other ones where it will sync up with your iCal and your Outlook. And then they have lots of integrations. So I'm gonna look over here. I'm gonna show you what the dashboard looks like for them. You can see at the top that I'm still on the free plan there because it says upgrade. But their dashboard is interesting because it's you log on and the first thing that you see is your schedule. So if you log on to your Book Like a Boss dashboard, you can see what appointments you have scheduled. And then you see on the right there, there's statistics, how many appointments you have, products and services. The difference between appointments and products and services is simply this: products and services they pay for when they schedule, appointments they don't. Now, if you already have their credit card information and you're running it once a month anyway, manually, and you don't want to take payments when people schedule, then all you need is appointments. You don't need the two more expensive plan. So if you see on the left, this is how you would set it all up. You create, you put in information about yourself, and I'll show you real quick because they have the most booking page options. Their booking page is almost like a Facebook profile. You upload your photo, you can create a gallery, change the information in the footer. The options for Book Like a Boss are the greatest of all of them. They have loads and loads of booking page options. And I'll even show you here. So I created this booking page, and you can see that this is what you would send your clients to. So just to kind of compare them, this is the Bookify, right? This is your Calendly. Let me go here. Nice and simple. And then this is Book Like a Boss. So you sort of put your picture up there. You have links to your social media accounts if you want them, a contact me button. You place about me. You can even upload photos. So you say, hey, client, yeah, they want to go and just see a little bit of your life. They can go and look at photos if you want to upload them, and they can see them. So going down, they have the booking portion of it here. So they would select a date and a time. They put in their name and their email address and their cell number so that they can receive a reminder. And then you can even put testimonials. So I've got, just sort of a little testimonial. It's not real, I made it up, but Ron is one of my clients. And then you can put an FAQ, which is really neat when they go to book. How long is a coaching call? I made these up here, is coaching a substitute for counseling? Will there be homework? So you can even put an FAQ so that your client, when they go to book their call, they're most informed and most educated. And so of the 3 services, I really like the Book Like a Boss booking page. I really like for them to kind of be able to jump on and rather than just seeing sort of a, something really simple, which is great on a mobile phone, or seeing something that is okay, it's doable, they're seeing something that just kind of gives them a little bit more, personal. They just feel a little bit more of a touch, a little bit more personal. They've connected with me a little bit more than the other ones. And then, like I said, they would just go through and book. So loads of booking page options for that one. $9 a month for text reminders. A little bit less if you pay for a year up front, but there's no free plan. So I'm going to show you really fast here. And I'm going to try to do this in about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, because I know that we have My Coach Portal subscribers here. And I'm really glad that you guys came. And so I'm going to just show you as fast as I can how to take your booking page and connect it to your portal so that your clients can use your booking page. Okay. So I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard, that address of my booking page. I'm going to go to my dashboard. I will go to my clients portal that I want to add this to. Batman's a client of mine. I guess, I don't know if you guys knew that, as well as all these other Spider-Man and Superman. So let's go here to RJ Martinez, who's one of my clients. I went to the wrong one. Here we go. We're going to go to My Portals, All Projects. Sorry, I went to Users instead of Portals. And I'm going to go over to Ron's coaching portal, and I'm going to edit it. And I'm going to go down here, and I will go down to phase 2. And those of you who are using this, you know what this is all about. I'm going to add a module, and I'm going to call it Schedule Appointment. Okay. So those of you guys who use this, you know what this is all about. So description, so book your next call. So I just give it a quick description. We'll give it an icon, and you can give it any icon you want, but I'm going to give it calendar icon. Now you have these module types. This module type is URL, because all we're doing is linking to that booking page address, just like that. And I just pasted it in there. Do I want to open it in a new tab? Yes, I do. Now that I've done that, I can update the project. So I told you I'd show you all how to integrate any calendar app with your portal in under 2 minutes. We're going to preview those changes. Here's Ron's coach portal. We're going to go down here to schedule appointment. We'll click on that. And it's going to open up my Book Like a Boss page. Voila, there it is. So we just took whatever service, and that's any booking page for any service, and we just connected it to your My Coach portal. Bob's your uncle, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna toss it back to Chris. I thank you all for just drinking from the fire hydrant today.
Oh
so,
man, That was great. That was great. I'm glad I asked you to stop moving the screen up and down, but that was so much good material. And I hope everybody's seeing there what I catch. When I watch Lee do something like this, I'm sorting through some of the peripheral things that he knows so much about and I know so little about. And what I'm hearing clearly is you've got 3 very good answers to your solutions here. And depending on budget, and depending on the kind of functionality that you think you want for this, if you know you would like to go to online scheduling, any one of these 3 you could try at no cost. Knock around with them. If you never figure out 2/3 of the things they do, that's okay. The 1/3 that does the basic things that you would want it to do, you can use, and it will improve your interface with prospects and clients, like almost instantaneously. If you then connect it, as you just saw him do there, to your coach portal, so much the better. It doesn't matter which one you would pick, any of them, or 10 other ones that are out there. They can all be plugged in, and you saw how seamless. When your client is inside My Coach portal, they just click on it. For all they know, they're still inside My Coach portal, but the reality is they've jumped out on a URL, on an address, out to your calendaring system. And that way, if you change the calendaring system someday down the road, they would still just do the same thing. You just put the new link in there, and they can book their appointments every time. Really, really easy. All right, so that being the case, I said we would take questions here. We've got a few from the chat. I'm going to also remind everybody that if you want to just ask a question of Lee, you can do that by down there on the bottom of your screen. In fact, let's see. Lee, why don't we come off of...
All right.
I don't know if I want to have you come off of screen share or not, because probably you want to be able to show people on a screen as you answer their questions. So let's keep screen share up. But if you would like to just ask a verbal question, all you need to do is click participants. And then down at the bottom of the window that'll come up, just click raise hand. But let's start with these that are in the chat. Nancy Miller, how far in advance, Lee, do you have to set your availability for these online schedulers?
So you want to set them. So what they do is you will set up your normal business hours, and that will just run through in perpetuity. But you will manually set things like your vacation times, right? So for example, if I know I'm taking a vacation this summer, I would want to go on there, probably the first of the year and make myself unavailable during that time. So that really is sort of up to you. How far in advance do you want to put that out there?
Pretty much as soon as you put it on and update the calendar, it's there for anybody that's looking at it. So you could literally do it 1 minute and then tell them, okay, go there and refresh your page and you can select, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. We've got background noise again. Next question. How far out can you book? This one was asking specifically on Bookify, but they all 3 work the same way. You just mentioned they're in perpetuity, right?
Yeah, once you set your normal business hours, that will be set in perpetuity.
Good, good. Okay, Sheila Whitney, what does a group booking look like? Do you have so many spots and when they're filled, no one else can book?
What a good question. Let's take a look. Were you thinking, let's see here, let's look at Bookify's. We could do group events. Since I don't do groups, I never really thought of it. So you would create a class. Let me see if there's limits to that. We'll do a new group event. And then let's see here. Test event. It's free. Duration, 60 minutes. Location. We'll do this online. Seats. There we go. So you would set the number of seats. So if you have 5, if there's 10, make it private. We'll add sessions later. Cost cannot be empty. So there we go. So you determine how many seats are available in your group event. We just learned that together.
Nice. Just in time learning. Well
just
done.
Just in time.
Okay, Claudia Cantrell. Can you only allow your clients to book appointments. I do not want a potential client to only be able to book an inquiry call.
No, that link, once you share that link, it is, so if you share it to someone who's not a client, you can share that link with whoever you want. And if you have an unlimited number of event types, not that you would want to put that public, but you could put, you know, dinner with friends. You can create any event type as you want. But yeah, that, so if we go out here and book an appointment, you can see that my options are coaching call or discovery call. So obviously, you know, my non-clients would come and they would book that discovery call, whoever has the link.
Can I ask one question about that, Lee? If you've got a link in your website that says book an inquiry call, then that would have to be set up that it's only a certain times. Could we set it up like that? Only certain times? Well, the 30-minute calls would be your inquiry calls, but I wouldn't want, you know, accidentally to get someone that's wanting a coaching call and taking a slot away from someone else. Does that make sense?
Oh, I see. Yeah. So if we did, let's see, appointment types, let's see if they have that option on here. We'll just learn together here. So we're going to do it by phone. We can hide that from the booking page, which is a good thing. So if we want to, it will create its own link.
Okay.
So you send that out. Does that make sense? So you hide that from the booking page. Yeah. And so it gives you its own separate link. I don't know if you could see that where I'm running my finger along there. So that would be a direct link to discovery calls.
Okay. That's
so if
perfect.
Yeah.
Because that way you can link it directly to your website.
Yes.
I think. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Beautiful. Well, now I'm watching our time here. We've got a couple other questions, and we may have some. Let me see. We have no. Claudia's hand was there. He's there. Jeff Ling had raised his hand. We're just going to honor your time. So let me take one more of these questions from the chat here, and then get to Jeff. And as I said, then for those of you who need to leave, we're going to give you a coupon code here if you're interested in my coach portal. But then we will stay on and answer any other questions that people may have. Let's, in fact, let me give that coupon code now, just so those who want to get off can do so. If you are interested, not in any of these scheduling systems here, but the service that Lee and I both run called My Coach Portal, we have the ability for you to access that at a permanent discount, $5 off per month, locking yourself into that for forever and ever, amen. And that's just at mycoachportal.net. And in selecting the monthly contract for My Coach Portal, you would, during checkout, just type in the coupon code webinar5. So that's all caps, webinar, and the number 5. No space there at all. Webinar 5 will take $5 off of your contract for mycoachportal.net forever and ever. That's good through midnight of this Sunday, this weekend. So let's go back to some of these other questions here. How are you using this, Lee? This is from Sheila Whitney. How are you using this with clients who pay monthly when you have it linked to something like Stripe? Now, Stripe, for those of you who don't know, is a payment plan. So like there, when it was allowing you to actually take payments inside the scheduling system, how does that link up with whatever your payment service might be?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so for me, I don't do it. I don't take payments over my calendaring system because of that. That would be a limitation. They can only pay for that appointment at that time. And so for me, I'm just going to sound horribly paranoid, but I like to run the payments myself because people forget things like that. And I like to get paid for a month's worth at a time. So I just have my clients in my Square Pay directory. And at the end of the month, I just go and I open up that directory and I charge people. So I don't take payments through my calendaring app.
I think that's wise. And again, for those who are using My Coach Portal, they can do all of their billing and payments through My Coach Portal anyway, but there's just a direct link to your service rather than kind of taking this circuitous route through your scheduling system.
And they can pay monthly on My Coach Portal as well. If they want to pay for a month, they can.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There is a comment here, Lee, from Sheila just saying, I would love to have a My Coach Portal webinar with Q&A. And of course, we did that. So actually, for any of you who want to know more about My Coach Portal, there's quite a bit actually on the website now, including some tutorial videos just at mycoachportal.net. But you can also email Lee directly. He's the answer man, and just Lee, L-E-E, at mycoachportal.net will get you personal attention.
Or you can email Lee at MyCoachSolutions.com.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, right. Lee at MyCoachSolutions.com.
Yes.
Got that wrong there. All right. Jeff Ling, you had your hand raised. What was your question?
Just a couple of thoughts here. One on the pricing. I know you don't take payments, Lee, over that, but I did not notice anywhere where there were rates listed. Do you show your rates for those things on the face of the booking areas?
Right. I do not show my rates. With Book Like a Boss, you can. If you are taking payments through Book Like a Boss, rather than creating an appointment type, you create a product and service. And then you add the price there. And then that would appear on that page. That makes sense?
Yeah, but you don't list anything on your initial booking page. Is that an effort not to dissuade people before you have a chance to talk to them, or?
Oh no, those would be on my marketing website.
Okay.
So if they go to my actual leebazat.com and they go to my coaching page, they can see my packages there.
Gotcha.
So if they're at my booking page, there's 100% chance that they already know that what it's going to be.
That makes sense.
So,
the other thing I was just going to mention was that, as a matter of clarification, someone was asking about the number of seats for an event. But it seems to me that there's no limit of the seats available that you could put within the program, but they do not host the group, and so you're limited by how many seats you're paying for via Zoom or something like that.
That is correct.
All right. All right. Well, again, we'll stay on here. We have covered what we wanted to and fielded several of your questions, but Lee and I are good to the top of the hour. If you need to check out, we've already seen that some people have dropped. That's great. You will get in your inbox a link with this video in it, along with that coupon code reminder that I just also put up there in the chat. And again, if you have any questions following this, Lee at MyCoachSolutions.com. That's the parent company. Lee at MyCoachSolutions.com. Keep in mind, if you want to raise your hand to ask a question, down at the bottom of your screen, just across the very bottom black portion, if you'll mouse over there where it says participants, click that. And down at the very bottom of that window that opens up, you'll see raise hand. When you click raise hand, it puts it next to your name, and we know you have a question. Looks like several people are clicking up. Ah, there we go, back to smiling faces.
Yes.
Any other questions from anybody?
So here, let's take a really quick survey while we've got you all. And since you don't have questions, I have a question. And that is, what sort of tools would you like to learn about? Because we'd like to provide these informational webinars for you. And so we can do one for document signing. We can do one for maybe like a CRM, like a relationship manager for clients. We can look at all those things. We'd be happy just to kind of put information. Yeah, there it is. CRM from Lisa. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Something, maybe payment options, payment systems. We do offer one through the Coach Portal, but
we could do a side-by-side though, couldn't we?
Right.
Yeah.
I put a question in chat. I've got a problem with my sound system here.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me pull that up from Wendy. Let's see. Must be way at the top. I didn't see that. Wendy Cooper. Oh, there we go. If you set up with one system and then later change systems, how would you transfer all the future bookings made and keep record of past calendar bookings for finances as well as client records? Or would that all still be held within My Coach Portal info? Okay, so is this specifically about My Coach Portal, the tool, or is it specific to just the calendaring system that we're looking at today?
It sounded like the calendaring systems. Have I got
That's
that
what
right?
I thought, but then she mentioned My
Yeah.
Coach Portal right at the end there.
Yeah. Well, the My Coach Portal does not store any of your booking information, so it's just a link out. Now, the nice thing is with all of these calendaring systems, they sync. So they'll sync with your iCal or your Outlook. So if you just switch to another one, all the appointments have already been transferred to your iCal and your Outlook. Does that make sense? So they've already synced up. So if you're just going to move to another one, well, it's all stored on your calendar anyway.
Cool. Good.
All right.
And I see that there was a question for that email address. There it is, lee@mycoachsolutions.com. That's in the chat there.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? We are thinning quickly here, which is good. That means everybody got what they needed.
That was efficient.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But anything else is fair game.
Chris, can some people, do they know how to unmute or raise their hand just in case?
Yes. Yes. We covered that.
Just trying to make sure some of the new people heard you.
Thanks. All right.
There's
Well,
one
then
from Nancy Lopez there.
Oh,
Was
there a chat?
measure up with safe harbor and other data safety needs. I would say that would be a question for at their websites to email to the companies. I know that they all use SSL, that they're all secure sites. But if you have questions, beyond that, I would reach out to the companies.
Yeah. As we said earlier, these are three of the biggest ones out there. So they're not kind of obscure, but if you have concerns because you're maybe having to be HIPAA compliant with client records or something for some reason, that would be worth looking at.
Yeah.
All right, all. Blessings. Thanks for spending the time with us here. We'd love to have you on future webinars. We'll do these Power-Up webinars. We'll take your questions there for topics. And again, My Coach Portal, the coupon is good through midnight, Sunday of this weekend. MyCoachPortal.net. And lots of tutorials there. You can kick that thing around and get yourself ready to really ramp up on the technology side heading into 2020.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Those in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Blessings all.